In the Red Sea, US naval vessels launched Tomahawk missiles on the targets backed by US warplanes. 5 Gulf states joined the mission against the Islamic State positions: Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Qatar, the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain. Speaking Tuesday, US President Barack Obama hailed the cooperation between allies.
Above all, the people and governments of the Middle East are rejecting ISIL and standing up for the peace and security that the people of the region and the world deserve.
Jordan's Minister for Media Affairs made a statement on national television.
This comes in light of our declared policy of targeting terrorist organizations that continue to threaten the security and safety of our country as well as the borders.
The fact that majority Sunni Gulf states plus Bahrain joined the attacks on Sunni extremists will give the United States political cover, says Middle East analyst Craig Larkin of King's College London.
Logistically, they're not very significant, but with regards to a broader coalition of Arab, particularly Arab Sunni states, this gives greater legitimacy. And I think it's been very significant, and John Kerry was pushing very strongly for the recruitment of a broader coalition.
Targets included Islamic State command centres in the northern city of Raqqa, plus training camps, a munitions factory and communication centres. The US also launched Tomahawk missile strikes against an al-Qaeda-linked group known as Khorasan, which Washington says is plotting attacks on the West. The Syrian government says it was given notice of the attacks. Again, Craig Larkin.
Publicly, of course, they would like to say that they've been informed, that they have consent, but also that this perhaps is a violation of international law. Privately, they will be quite happy with an attack on ISIS because this legitimizes and consolidates their argument that the Syrian war is about fighting Islamic terrorists.
Within hours, amateur video purportedly showing the aftermath of the attacks appeared on social media. This footage claims to show emergency workers pulling out bodies from underneath rubble in the village of Kfar Derian. Local residents said the village is a base for al-Qaeda-linked Nusra Front. US estimates suggest the Islamic State group commands around 20,000 fighters, 2/3 of them in Syria and the remainder in Iraq. The US has already launched close to 200 airstrikes on IS positions in Iraq. Former British Prime Minister Tony Blair said Monday that airstrikes would have limited effect.
If you're going to defeat a group like ISIS, you're going to have to defeat them on the ground as well as through air power.
The United States and its allies have ruled out sending in ground troops. The challenge is to find a reliable opposition group in Syria that can take on the extremist group. But that is hugely complex, says Craig Larkin.
There is not one consolidated Syrian official opposition force. The Free Syrian Army have been supplied covertly with weapons and support for the last 2 years by the West, but they have failed militarily.
Larkin further cautions that while Syria may allow airstrikes on Islamic State fighters, it would reject attempts to arm other opposition groups that are trying to overthrow the government. Henry Ridgwell for VOA News, London.